On the run, being on the run. You know what I find intriguing more than anything? Is living here in America. It's funny, and yet it's the truth. Living and being here in America. Everything is about the run. Everything is about the chase. Everything is trying to keep up with the Joneses. Buying that new flashy whatever. Everything is all about the run. And yet, in the end, it seemed like what you chase is never fulfilling. Have you noticed that? Like, everything you seem to chase, the feel good is temporary. You feel happy and you feel satisfied, and yet only for a moment. Why is that? Why is my cup feel only full for a moment? The temporary high, the endorphins within your mind being set loose, chasing that thrill. It's interesting. The rat race of America. It really is. Being satisfied here and there. Having the world all around you while living in America. America is such the land of plenty that we just bombard ourselves with plenty till we become disgusted with ourselves. That's intriguing. It's very intriguing. Because what you come to find out, you can do everything to try to feel like you're of substance all out here, proving to other people that you are of something of greatness. Yet, when no one's around, you just feel low and empty. You see others that have what you have, and you think, I got that. I got that. You see others that have more, and you think, they think they the, you know. You see that 1%, which might actually, today in 2018, might be actually more than that 1%. Numbers have to be a little bit higher than what they're saying. You see them and you just, yeah, hate them completely, right? But still trying to catch up with them, right? That's interesting in itself. Let me see. If I see someone and they have a lot more than me, and yet I hate them because they have a lot more than me, and yet I'm constantly running, trying to get what they get, how does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. It's the rat race. The poor are the poor. The rich are the rich. The middle class is supposedly gone out the window, or in the backyard, or down the block. I don't know. But that is just very intriguing, is all I can say. Doesn't make sense. The rat race. It does not make sense. Poor people being themselves, being who they are. Many of them, not all of them. Many fake. Admiring the rich, but hating the rich, and yet wanting what the rich have. What type of sense does that make? I have to ask myself. Maybe I should ask other people. You know what? On the street, maybe I should ask people about that. What type of sense does that make? Anyways, the rat race. It's like as if there's like some type of self-defeat in that nobody talks about. There's some deep self-defeat in that. It has to be all across America. Because if I'm watching other people all day that got what I got, no, not if they got what I got. They got what I got, but much more, right? If I'm watching them all day and I want that same thing, you have to feel defeated because you're so far behind them. And yet they put in so much work to get there. Not all of them, but many of them have. Especially many corporations, some celebrities, whatever, right? You know that in order to attain that, you know you have to put in the actual work to get that thing. And so you sit and you beat yourself up because you know deep down you really don't want to do the work. The rat race. You really don't want to do the work, and yet you might already be doing the work. You might already be doing the work. Much more work than some people you see that have a lot more than you. That's what's so interesting about the rat race. You have people out here that's working 16, 17 hours a day, 6 days a week. They're working all these hours. And yet they have nothing close to some people that they watch that work less. It's interesting. This whole rat race, I have to wonder who constructed the rat race. It had to be the Jews. It had to be Jews. I got love for them. I like their motto. I like their corporate motto. But they had to be the one that constructed because they own everything. You know, when you own media all across the globe, that spans all across the globe, then you had to be the one that actually set up the rat race. You're the leader of the rat race. But yeah, that whole self-defeat. Nobody talks about it, but you can feel it. When you're on Facebook or certain social media channels, you can feel the self-defeat in it. Because everyone's on there posting their thoughts and what they're doing with their day. But it's as if it's not a positive vibe. You got what I'm saying? Even the ones that don't talk, they just sit and observe and watch. There's like a negative tone that's being unspoken of or not being spoken of. For me, I find that of interest because going back to what I said before, the rat race, not trying to sound like, what's the word? Nihilism? Is that how you say it? Where you actually are doing all this stuff, but you're doing it for nothing. You're doing all this stuff to fill time so that you don't want to look like you're a lazy. You don't want to look like a lazy here in America. Because if you're not doing anything, then you will be viewed as a nothing, scum of the earth, lazy bones. But that whole thing of just chasing things and chasing goals. It's like you chase to keep up, and then you get what you chased, and then after you get it, you feel empty. You feel real empty. It's not the feeling that you thought it would be. And yet the desire for it before you got it was just, it was burning a hole through your body. It was burning a complete hole through your body. It makes me question. Stuff like that makes me question. Like Michael Jackson, I loved him. That was my dude. Shouts out to, yeah, his sister. Many of them. Toy, Jan. It makes you think of people like him, Whitney Houston. Just, I know because I keep saying celebrities because it's the type of culture that we live in. And everybody wants to keep up with that. But how they had to feel on the other side, because that's a rat race in itself. Competition is an industry competition is a rat race. So I'm just saying is many of them wanted that, what they yearned for. And then they got it. And then they did good for a few years, and then they got on drugs. It's just interesting. Life itself is interesting. It'll make you question many things. It'll make you go out and question random people about various things, because sometimes life don't add up. It doesn't add up. I think I'm gonna have to make a video about that. Something deeper. But the rat race. The rat race has transformed all type of people into all type of different things to keep up and stay up. They're no longer who they once were. They're a whole different character so that they can stay up and keep up. I wish I could extend on this because there's so much more that could be said, but I'm going to cut this. Yeah, so think about it. Emptiness of the rat race. I wonder who's sitting amongst us here in America that feel empty. They got everything that they wanted to attain, and yet they're still empty because every time they look around, they see someone else getting ahead. I've been there. I felt that way. So I holla back.